Sheehan.
Thank you, Lascian Corla. Taoiseach, I do not want this plan to fail. I think, you know, the future of our country, particularly for people my age, depends on it. And at last, this morning, we have a new housing plan. And I have never seen any government take so long to come up with so little. This time last year, you deliberately misled the electorate in terms of the housing targets. And during the election, you never publicised your plans to hike rents, change the rental rules, and to shrink apartment sizes. This new plan tells us that you'll deliver 300,000 homes by 2030. You'll need a minor miracle to deliver 300,000 homes by 2030. You've abandoned targets for the private sector, and it's very clear that you've done this to shield yourself from accountability, because what you cannot count, you cannot measure. And the overall targets for this plan are wrong. They are too low and do not consider inbuilt demand due to the housing deficit. The previous target for over 40,000 homes this year was a fiction. So how is anyone expected to believe you will deliver 300,000 by 2030? The central bank projections are clear that only 36,000 homes will be delivered in 2026 and 40,000 in 2027. That leaves 200,000 homes to be built in the second half of this plan, and that is a doubling of current delivery, with no sense that the private sector can or will do it. And construction activity is falling month on month, and developers are on the go slow because they know they have you on the hook. The target of 12,000 social units is only a 20% increase on current targets, when what is needed is closer to 15,000, as we proposed in our manifesto and as the Housing Commission, which you continue to ignore, stated. And in the section on promoting affordable ownership, there are no new measures, bar prize bonds, to make ownership a reality for people my age. And in fact, you talk about new schemes when what you have done is mainly just a PR exercise of repackaging existing supports or renaming them. And your last plan for affordable homes never delivered on its targets. And your solution is to effectively put all the supports together and rename them. So there is nothing in this plan to say how you will build the tens of thousands of extra affordable homes we need, or how house prices will come down, which they need to. We're told the LDA will have an expanded role, but only 2.5 billion of additional funding is being provided, and there is no clarity around what specific powers it will have. What is needed, Taoiseach, is a massive ramping up of state capacity to directly build social and affordable homes. So I have three questions. Why have you abandoned your annual targets? What is your measure of success for this plan in year one? Will homelessness fall? And what new specific measures are on this plan to make home ownership affordable again? What do you say to any young person, people my age, as the Minister said, do they just have to hang in there for what, another 15, 20 years?
Well, thank you very much. You'll excuse me for firstly extending my deepest sympathy to your colleague, Deputy George Lawler, on the passing of your mum, Betty. And I understand you delivered a very heartwarming tribute to her yesterday, and I join, I know, with members across the House in extending my sympathy to you at this difficult time and to all your family. Thank you very much to Deputy Sheehan for raising the issue. And I accept you don't want the plan to fail, and I accept that generally our engagements are constructive in relation to housing and how we have different perspectives and different views on occasion. But I do appreciate that point. But I do have to reject or disagree with a number of the assertions that you have made. Yes, the state needs to do more in terms of direct building, but there is no way the state is going to build all of the homes that our country requires. I think we can agree on that. So there's a target of delivering 300,000 more homes over the lifetime of the plan. Roughly speaking, from my memory, around 162,000 of those homes will either be social homes, local authority homes, or will be homes that are part funded through a variety of government schemes. That's a very significant proportion. In fact, I'd argue that this country is one of the countries in the European Union that is investing more of the exchequer funding relative to the market than many, in fact most other European countries. But even doing that, I think we'd also agree we're still going to need the private sector to build more homes as well. And that's where you're going to actually get the bulk of delivery. And to do that, we have to open up sites. We have to listen to those who build homes, and we have to listen to the local authorities in terms of the feedback that they're getting as well. And that's why I would reject that there's nothing in this plan that's going to make a material difference. So we're investing hugely in the enabling infrastructure around water and wastewater. We're enabling developers, small developers for small sites, to actually put in their own infrastructure, which will help rural and regional communities right across the country as well. And we are, in relation to the targets, I mean, just to be clear on this, there's a target is very clear, 300,000 more homes over the lifetime of the plan. When we were in government with your party, we had a target for the action plan on jobs at 100,000 new jobs. We didn't break it down every year, and you didn't look for that either. But we exceeded the target. We exceeded the target because we've got to be clear here. You know, this idea of arbitrary deadlines, whether something is finished on the 31st of December or the 1st of January, the idea that somebody can sit back and say, we've done our bit in this county for this year, we'll wait till next year. We need a constant pipeline over the lifetime of this plan, and we need people hungry to do more. And that's why, and Minister Cummins has been clear on this, and Minister Brown, that's why we're actually putting a fund in place to reward and incentivise local authorities who go above and beyond their so-called target in terms of either social homes or starter homes as well. In relation to children and child homelessness, particular, we're taking two very significant steps. One is the fund to help get families out of homelessness, €100 million next year to be ring-fenced. And I'm being clear, that's going to need to be repeated each year. That needs to really ramp up to resource to fund our local authorities in a ring-fenced way to help get children out of homelessness and get a roof over their head. And secondly, and I've heard Focus Ireland and others seek this, changes to the social housing allocation scheme to prioritise homeless children, and that's something also in the plan too.
Conor Sheehan.
Thank you very much, Last Ceann Comhairle. Taoiseach, in your reply, you didn't address any of the specific questions that I asked you. And the fact of the matter is, there are elements in this plan that I welcome. Some of those elements are things that we already proposed, such as amending the law to ensure the best interests of children are taken into account by local authorities when families become homeless. Jan O'Sullivan had that in a bill in 2017. But the fact of the matter is that the state is not doing enough in terms of directly building social and affordable housing. Most of the homes that the LDA delivered in recent years were through turnkey. And yes, the state is investing significant sums into housing, but a lot of this is going into inflationary schemes. And when I talk to local authorities, they do not want financial incentives. They want the department to engage with them properly. They want the department to work with them constructively. They want the department not to stand in their way, because they are very keen to get on with the job of building the homes we need.
I think some are better than others. I don't think it's a uniform thing right across the country, got to be very honest. I have a league table that the Minister for Housing has published, shows some local authorities well exceeding their council targets, social housing targets, including the county of Wicklow that I represent, and others making a paltry contribution. When national targets are missed, they're not missed at a national level. They're missed by local authorities. So I don't believe every local authority is doing everything possible. I don't believe there's this consistent approach that every hospital equally performs, every council equally performs. And that's why you should incentivise good behaviour, good practice, good policy, and good political courage to do more and deliver more in their communities as well. I don't agree with the assertion around the Land Development Agency. I've just come from Dunor, a site here in Dublin City where we're delivering with the LDA in partnership with Dublin City Council 1, 2 and 3 beds. And I have to say, and I would ask the Labour Party to reflect on this, we're trying to make changes to apartment standards so we can have flexibility to deliver more accommodation. And one of your elected representatives is going to court. One of your elected representatives has rushed to the courts to try and block those changes to apartment standards. And I'd ask you respectfully, as your party spokesperson on housing, to pick up the phone to your councillor and say, stop weaponising the use of the courts to try and delay changes we need to make to apartment standards, because there will be students in Limerick who need more apartments built, more student accommodation, and the Labour Party councillor is actively delaying that, in my respectful opinion.
Deputy O'Callaghan.